Ready? Ready.
Okay. Hello. Today we are going to talk about our idea that is an app called Root App, and we are Pablo, Andrés, and Sonny. First, I'm going to talk about the problem with public transport in Costa Rica. Okay. Did you know how many people use public transportation in Costa Rica? Only the 40% of Costa Ricans use don't use public transport at all, and the 60% of Costa Ricans use public transport, when the ideal percentage is the 80%. It is known that the public transport in Costa Rica has a lot of disadvantage. For example, that only cash is accepted, also long waiting times, crowded rides full of people, uncertainty of schedules and routes, also the bad organization and the routes requires more fuel, and also the possibility of fraud generates losses for companies, and also a lot of more disadvantages.
Also, a lot of traffic jam is a good example what we can see in Costa Rica. If you go to San Jose, you can see a lot of cars, and that takes a lot of time. But it's something important we have to take in, we have to have in mind in this application.
So currently, all of these things generates a deficiency in the public transport in general, which has caused that public transport has lose efficiency over the years. There are fewer and fewer people uh, who use it, and they prefer to use a car, and this causes traffic and also air pollution and other problems. So we need a solution that is to improve the public transport so it can become cleaner, safer, faster, and more efficient, and and the people would prefer to use the public transport instead of the car, and all of the problems we mentioned before would be solved.
Okay, how Sunny mentions in Costa Rica, the use of public transport is something what is difficult, and the people prefer to use a car. Instead, is a lot of traffic what we can see in the image, for example, and a lot of time driving, and this is so stressful, for example. So how we can promote the idea of use public transport in Costa Rica, because we know that is more difficult to use for the people. A lot of people who use the public transport is because they don't have enough money. Is the principal reason. So in Costa Rica, I think we have to educate the people, and is the principal idea what we have to know, because it's something about the culture from the country. But this is almost impossible in a country like Costa Rica. So how we can do is easiest the way how we use public transport. So what what we have to do is improve the experience about uses this kind of transport. uh, Things like give better information, because sometimes you have a lot of difficulties to find where you have to take a bus to go to some site. Um, Also, we for example, a lot of people have bad experience in the buses, and that's a reason for the people for don't use it. Some examples about these problems are a lot of people, and the the buses are so dirty. Also, the people sometimes don't have enough cash, and this is a reason to take a Uber, for example. And so many times the buses have bad service. So we offer a solution, which is create an app, which is the to use and give the users access and complete list of functions to get to the destination fast and safe. Um, for example, well, we have a key, we have here a simple solution, but it's so useful, we think, because, for example, the people always use their cell phones, so it's a easy way to find information and pay or things like that. So in our application, we going to have little functions, we going to have so many functions. For example, we in this place we can have information about buses and trains. For example, like where you have to take the bus, because if you are new in the country, for example, and you have to go to San Jose and you are in Alajuela and you don't have idea about how to take a bus to this place, and if you search in Google Maps so many times you can't find the stop of the bus stop. So also we have to know about the routes that the bus takes, the schedules, the prices, and we have an option to pay online, because this is important. For example, in application like Uber, it's a it's a big option to facilitate the use. Also, how we can find a lot of problem in the public transport, we have a section to give feedback to the companies who have the buses, and if they want to improve, they can take this feedback and use it.
Well, some advantages of this app is um, no more payment misunderstandings, as no more cash is needed. This means that when paying the bus or the train, as Pablo said, uh, in some cases it could happen that um, people don't have enough money, even for uh, a little amount like 5 colones. You can take the bus, and with it in with this app, the payment is made automatically, and with the with the sorry, it's an online payment, so it's instantly, and this means that these problems will no longer affect the experience in the public transportation. Um, Also, always know where you're going. You'll know in which places the bus or train will stop, and where is the last stop, and also you'll get detailed information about the route. For example, if you need to go to a shop or restaurant, or you need some service, you'll find um, everything related with that in the route. It will appear in the app. Some places that could be needed. Also, no waste of time. Related with the first point, the as the payment is made automatically, you don't need to waste time looking for coins, or looking for a or the driver doesn't need look for a change and all those things. So it is a faster experience. The line outside of the bus or a train will move faster and everything will be faster. And also every driver is registered in the platform. So if there's any issue with the driver, as for example reckless driving or anything related with the responsibility of the driver, you will know the name of each driver and you will have the option to report or to give a rating or anything like that.
Okay. Also, something important what we have to add in disadvantages is with the situation right now with the coronavirus. Uh, Paying online, you don't have to have contact with the driver, for example. So that is something important in the time we are living.
Also, you will know if the ride is full of people, so you you can decide if you want to take the ride or wait for another one. And that's important in this situation of COVID.
And also as conclusions, well, this is a solution, but it's not like a final solution for the problem because there are some things that should be uh, taken in account as people's education or the access to technology. Um, there's uh, always will be a like a gap between people who are able to use these new technological um, apps or to advance. It's hard because well, some people would prefer a car and for its um, for the fact that it is more comfortable and well, maybe for some people they would find easier just to take the car and go to their jobs or without making stops. But also, we think that it could be a good like a good solution because it is easier. It could be not as comfortable as right, traveling by car, but um, some of the disadvantages of taking public transport as we do today are eliminated with this app. So we think it's a good attempt to uh, solve this big problem.
Yes. Also, I don't know if you have the same problem that me, but for example, when I have to go to some places and I don't know have idea where I have to take that bus, so what I do is take a Uber, and that is more expensive for me and more pollution and things like that. And so for me, that is the principal problem because I use the buses a lot. So for me, that is the principal problem what we have in Costa Rica. That and the bad service what the buses give to us. I don't know if you think you have something more to say.
Yes, that's true. When you know um, the places and you don't know where to take the bus or where the bus stops, or all those things are complicated.
Yes, I agree. And this application, it probably will solve some of the problems, but not all of the problems that exist currently in Costa Rica. But we think that it's a good option to advance in this topic of improve the public transport in our country.
Well, thank you so much for paying attention to us. We wait for your comments, and we hope you like our presentation. Thank you very much. Um, I do not have where to stop at.